Hey everybody, welcome to Aaron Live. It is that time again. We are up to episode 3, and I think we're getting better. We're getting better, Connor? Bit by bit, right? We're getting better as well. So guys, welcome to Aaron Live. We are so excited to be joining us for this show. And as you know, my whole goal here is help you to live by design and not by default. That means make choices that you want and stick down that path of success for you personally or professionally. So this is what we get to do every month. Get together and put together an amazing show for you covering a wide range of topics. So we've got a couple of minutes now before we get started. So while we're waiting now, hit that like button, hit that. This is streaming live, right? So hit that comment button, let us know you're there. Share this as well, get some friends on board. Let's get some real momentum through the next 45 minutes to hour that we've got streaming on Facebook Live for Aaron Live as well. So while you guys are doing that, why don't we get started officially with the 3rd episode of Aaron Live. Let's do it. Welcome back. Here we get rocking and rolling with Aaron Live. This is one of my favorite parts of the month when I get to sit down, I get to look at the world of business and bring you guys some really cool stuff over this Aaron Live show as well. So if you've been part of this from day one, let us know in the comments if you've been a part of this, because we've been enjoying this journey and we want to keep doing this. So if you guys are loving it, we'll keep doing Aaron Live. It means I get to spend more and more time, looking at what's happening in the world of business and sharing that with you as well. So if you're new to this then, well, I'm going to cover up business. I'm going to talk about what's happening. I'm going to give what we call the Mentor Minute, where I'm going to train you a little bit on what you need to know about where we're at in terms of training for you, whether you're starting a company off, you're an entrepreneur with a successful company. I'm going to share some things I'm loving. I'm going to share some things that we say WTF, or what is going on with that thing, and we're going to have some fun along the way as well. So this is interactive. We've got all the guys here in the studio. We've got Connor, who's on our studio production manager now, who's watching all the comments. He's the guy you'll hear randomly speak throughout the show as well. And I've also got my comments live here as well, so I can see a couple of you guys jumping on. Scott, good to see you. Angela, Josie, good to see you. Leonie, so make sure you guys are sharing this thing. The more momentum and fun we have, the better it's going to be. A little bobblehead. The better it's going to be, right? So let's have some fun. So let's get locked into this for our very first segment, and this one we call the Biz News. All right, biz news. What's been happening in the world of business news? So 3 key things I want to talk to you guys about. I've got cards, Connor.
You got cards now.
We've upgraded. I've got cards now. Look, my logo's upside down. Branding 101, right? Have your logo the right way.
That's how you know it's live.
We got cards now. That's how you know it's live. Everyone's like, this can't be live. This is too cool of a studio. This is live, right? This is live. So listen, the business news, what's been happening in the world of business news, and I look across everything. The first one I want to talk to you about, some people say, well, is that really business news? Well, Stephen Hawking recently passed away, right, a couple of days ago. And some of you know who Stephen is. He's one of the most prolific minds of the 21st century. He has really been behind some of the biggest discoveries that we've had. He's in the top list of the most influential people when it comes to science, and within his world of particle physics. He has really done a huge amount for us as a species, right? But when I looked at Stephen, I said, well, hang on. What has he done in terms of that could affect business, right? And I did some research around it, and I came across some really cool stuff about Stephen. I thought to honor his legacy, let's talk about a couple of lessons that we can take from a man who his whole life he dedicated to trying to make the world a better place. From unfortunately having motor neuron disease as a younger guy and having that for the rest of his life, it never stopped him. And I thought I'd start off talking about this in the business news by sharing with you one of my favorite quotes. Probably the favorite quote that I have from Mr. Hawking, and that is, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. I love that quote. I think it's amazing. So I thought I'd look at what Stephen Hawking did for the business world, which is a bit of a left turn because you think he only did stuff for science. Well, if you look at it, and I did some research and I saw some great articles on this. One of the things that he said, and I'll tell you what he said. He said, let me give you 3 kind of leadership lessons. So even though this is the biz news, I want to give you some lessons in there as well, right? I can't help myself as a mentor. He said, one of the basic rules of the universe is that nothing is perfect. Perfection simply doesn't exist. Without imperfection, you or I nor would exist. That's from Stephen Hawking. So one of the first principles he spoke about that you can relate to the business world in leadership was that perfection kills progress. Perfection kills progress, and it's so true. I mean, if you look at it for you, if you're trying to get something perfect versus just getting it out there, and how is it going to be holding you back? So when I heard the news of Stephen passing away, and I thought about his legacy, and everyone looks at the science legacy. Well, I went, what can I take from his principles? And I'm so glad that a lot of people share that same thing as what I did. I found some great articles on it within the business news. Second thing that we can look at from a life with Stephen Hawking is he spoke about this. He said the universe is truly truly the ultimate design. He said with a few basic laws and a whole lot of energy, everything as we know it is created, right? And so he spoke about this, and I love this article because it said establish the basic laws and then let it go. So if you think about it from a business perspective, what we can take from the business news learning about what Stephen spoke to us is that he said, well, look, a business, you can establish a few basic rules, right? And a lot of businesses call that their core values, right? So maybe you have your core values. He said, you've got to put the right elements into place. Well, that's training, that's people, that's resources, right? Then he said, you've got to add a lot of energy. Well, that's a high-performing people, right? So if you look at what he spoke about, I love this article that I found about him in leadership because I love the principles of the universe, applying those directly to what you can learn as a business leader. I thought it was pretty cool. And the last thing he spoke about, he says, the biggest stars explode. Now, I looked at that, like, what? Biggest stars explode? He's talking about the idea that you might have something that's amazing, but at some stage you need to change. Being successful, again, this goes back to the quote, is your ability to be able to change as a leader or as a business owner. And I look at it, Stephen's legacy, and I think that's amazing. I think that you can take those elements that he's taught within his life as a physicist and say, well, how does that apply to the business world? Knowing that, the whole good things come to an end analogy, right? You can have lots of good things in your life, but things have their natural gestation period, right? It's kind of like having a baby, right? You get to a point where the baby's born. Well, he's saying that when you have a natural turn of events that are going to happen, you've got to become comfortable with that, be comfortable with change. I thought it's a really big thing to take away from Stephen passing away, looking at his legacy as well. And the final thing is he spoke about the only constant is change, right? And this is similar to the last point. He said, generally speaking, there is no absolutes in the universe beyond change. Everything is relative, even space and time. But you can always count on one thing, and that's it will change. And I think the lesson here, when I read these articles, and I love this lesson that they spoke about, the lesson here from 910 that wrote the article was that with change comes opportunity, and you've got to keep your eyes peeled for it. And you've got to be making sure that you're aware of that. So when I heard about the news, I was saddened because of what he brought us as humanity and us as a civilization and discoveries, understanding deeper about the Big Bang and the age of the universe and the planets. But then I looked at those lessons and said, well, how can they be a part of leadership? And I love this article as well. So I hope you guys took something from that, obviously the passing of Stephen, but then something from his body of work when it comes to leadership as well. I hope you guys took something from that. Second thing I want to speak about, a complete change of topic, is Facebook, right? We're not going to get shut down if we talk about Facebook on Facebook, I hope. But let's talk about... there's no guarantees. No guarantees. If it goes down, Connor's going to blame Facebook. So one of the biggest things that's happened the last month or two when it comes to the business news around Facebook has been this algorithm change, right? So what does the algorithm change mean to business? Let me make it completely clear for you. If you have a business page or a public page, if you have a page of any sort, like what you're watching right now, how we're streaming this to you right now through my fan page, I don't care how many followers I have, I won't be seen organically by anybody unless I pay. That's the change, right? So the reason is because they want to get back to the basics of being able to interact and that whole idea of the community. Whereas us, the marketers, want to spend money to have, every advertisement we can have in front of you. So there's a bit of a battle that's been happening. But with the algorithm change, what used to happen, like a lot of people, they used to spend thousands of dollars trying to grow their likes. Those likes are people saying, well, I like that page. They're not saying I'm going to turn the notifications on, right? And so all that money that's been spent over these years by people growing the likes, what's called the vanity metrics, right? Now, that really doesn't help them in any way because it's changed. The algorithm is about how people are interacting with your content and how much that you're paying. So what does that mean? So I looked at some great articles, and this one is a brilliant one. This was on Buffer app, and they spoke about the change. Now, here's a couple of key things you need to know about the Facebook change. I love this part. There's either a positive or there's a neutral interaction in the business. I love this. This is great. You want to write these things down. You got to get positive interaction through comments, through sharing, and through reacting. Comments, sharing, and reacting. Neutral or passive interaction, which doesn't really get you any organic growth or any organic reach, is clicking, which used to be, watching, or viewing or hovering over something. So just by clicking something and watching something used to actually give you interaction. So if you click and you're scrolling and you see this for the first time and you just watch me and don't do anything, it means that Facebook doesn't think you think it's important. So do me a favor, write in the comments now to say, I think this is important, right? So to make sure we know that you're there. So that's really cool. So you've got to keep up on the Facebook. I still see people out there now. I have a media business, right? And we do a lot of stuff when it comes to helping people grow their digital footprint. If anyone's teaching you just to grow likes, it's inaccurate. You don't need likes. That is a vanity metric. Some people I see out there with 1 million followers, but they've got 2 likes on their page, or they've got they've got 50,000, 60,000 people following on Instagram, but they have 10 people that like their post. There's something wrong when it comes to that metrics. Either those are BS followers, or those followers are not seeing any of their posts because they're not doing any of these things that we've talked about. So you've got to be up on this within the business news. And one of the other things I just want to tell you about this thing, there's a thing that a lot of people are doing called comment baiting, right? So if I posted something and I said, if you love this, write yes. If you want a free copy of my book, write yes in the comments. When you do that, that is actually being lowered in the algorithm. They search all that, lowered in the algorithm more than anything else. So don't do comment baiting. So what I want to tell you about the biz news when it comes to Facebook. The world of Facebook changes constantly and rapidly because they want us as the advertisers to spend more money, right? That's what's happening. That's the reality. But the change, I want to be really clear. This is a good thing if you want to spend money, because what it's done is it's got rid of all the organic stuff. So it's got rid of everybody that's getting traffic, basically your traffic, for free. You can outspend them and you can do it as well, right? So are we still live? Are we still, even though Facebook hasn't kicked us out?
No.
I just wanted to check because I'm bagging Facebook's algorithm. So that's the second thing. Third thing in the business news, I want to talk about tax, and I want to talk about, more specifically, I want to talk about tax in Australia and globally. Now, I have a little bit of a gripe when it comes to this. There's been a lot of stuff in the business news recently. Every day I read the Fin Review, they're talking about Donald Trump, which we love. We love to hear Donald Trump news. And they always have awkward photos of him. Have you ever noticed? Every photo of him is awkward.
He's not a photogenic man.
He's not a photogenic guy at all. So they've been talking recently about tax cuts in America. Here's some interesting things. Right now, the company tax rate in Australia is 30%. It's going down to 28.5% if you turn over less than $2 million. But before I tell you about where it's going in Australia, let's talk about what others are doing. China, 25%, less than us. Canada, 15%, less than us. Ireland, where I'm from, my mother's Irish, Caird Miller Fulsha, that means 100,000 welcomes in Gaelic, by the way, 12.5%. Hong Kong, 16.5%. Singapore, 17%. America, 21% being legislated at the moment. UK, 19%. Little old Australia, here's our big plans. We want to become 25% by 2027. So you're telling me, little old Australia, that we want to become globally competitive in 9 years. What is wrong with us?
We are in a digital economy, in a digital revolution with global hires, global customers. We need a global tax. So I can't believe how slow we're moving on this thing. Even if we do get this change by 2027, which is what they're proposing now in Parliament, we're still going to be behind all of the nations I've just suggested to you. Everyone's going there. Everyone's saying, well, why don't I start a company there, hire staff members from there, run my revenue through there, and as long as I'm not an Australian for tax purposes and deriving an income personally, I can get away with having to pay out huge amounts of tax. Guys, we have to do something about this. I mean, I get to travel the world and I get to see what's going on. Do we want to keep disenfranchising people to take their businesses offshore? It's ridiculous. You've got economies all around the world that are slashing their company tax rate. We slash it by 1%. We want a pat on the back. And then you have to wait for 10 years to get it down to 25%. Are you fucking kidding me? We need to do something about it. Biz News, company tax rate. And what's everyone doing? They're taking their business, going and taking it elsewhere, going and hiring employees from other countries. Because once you do that, they can get exempt from some of the taxes over there, and we're losing business. We need to start changing. We had Matt Barry recently come to one of our events, right? Matt Barry, he's a founder of Freelancer. Matt Barry was even laughing at how bad our economy is when it comes to our growth. We are sitting there thinking that we're at the forefront of the economy when we are creating taxes. Get this, we're creating taxes that mean that once you go from a startup to a medium-sized company, you're saying, I don't want to pay 30% tax anymore. Let me take my business elsewhere. So all we're doing is we're cooking some things and they're elsewhere. They're going to finish the meal and they're being consumed elsewhere. We're giving jobs away. Our customers are global now. Not many businesses won't work with customers in other countries. And all we're doing is creating an economy now where people don't want to do business in Australia. Something has to be done. But slowly but surely, we might get there. In the meantime, we're losing hand over fist great businesses and great business people to overseas because we can't keep up with the tax rates. Something has to be done. But that is the Biz News. Hope you guys took something from that. Let me know in the comments. I can see them. Share it, share it, share it. I'm going to give a prize away for someone that shares this. Don't know what it is, but I'll work it out by the end. Share away. I want to see if we can break Facebook as much as we can. Share away.
I'd just like to point out that I did share the video also.
Connor shared the video. Connor, being that he's employed as part of this organization, is instantly disqualified. It's like the lotto. If your family member works at the lotto, you can't enter the lotto.
Really?
Right? Yeah, you can't win. You can't enter.
No idea.
You can win, but you've got to give the ticket to your friend. Hope your friend cashes it. They give you the money back. Ridiculous, right?
Good friends. All right.
So Connor won't win. So that's the Biz News. Yeah? Good. Let's get on to the next section. We call this Crush It. Crushing it. Love it. Look at those little intro graphics there. So, crushing it. Now, every single month, I try and choose a different company that I think is crushing it, right? Now, I tried everything I could to avoid having to speak about this person because it's obvious, but I went, you know what? I can't have this month go by without mentioning this person because this person, right? Let me show you, it'll give it away, but I'm going to show it to you now. This is the person I'm going to speak about. This is him in 1999. This is him, right? Now, if you can read the wall, it is spray painted. Amazon.com. That is Jeff Bezos, who now is a bit of a changed man, as we can see here. Now, why am I speaking about Jeff Bezos? Well, he's one of my favorite entrepreneurs, but why does he get the Crushing It Award? He gets the Crushing It Award because since 2016, he was worth $66.8 billion or something like that, right? From memory. Just recently, not only is he the richest person in the world, he's worth $130 billion. He has doubled his value, $1 billion. He's doubled his value in the last 2 years. The stock value in Amazon, which is where his revenue is coming from, majority of it, he's investing in other things, but that has gone up. It doubled in 12 months' time, and it's now about $1,500 a share when we went to air. So he gets our Crushing the Award. How can he not get our Crushing the Award? He's expanding in economies. He's expanding his operations. And what do you do when you make $130 billion, Connor? Let me tell you. You spend $42 million on building a clock that will last 10,000 years. Jeff Bezos has now begun a project to build a clock mounted in Texas. He intends to mount it in and he's actually building part of his Blue Origin spaceport there. This clock is completely mechanical. Its energy is drawn from the earth and the elements, which means it doesn't need power, and it's going to last for 10,000 years. I'm going to build something that's going to last for 10,000 years, not just memories, but clocks. I love that. Jeff Bezos gets our Crushing It award for becoming the wealthiest man on the planet and for being just a cool guy that used to have a spray paint sign. Love it. That is our Crushing It. Love it. Next, let's get on to it. Next up for us, we're going to move on to our Mentor Minutes. Time for me to teach you guys something. I'm going to join you guys in the studio in a second for our Mentor Minute. All right, guys, welcome back. So I'm excited. We've got a new tour coming up, so you guys will listen as well. So if you want to come and hang out with me live, but in person, so live, maybe it should be like aaronlivelive.com. Maybe we should do something like that, right?
Sorry.
So if you guys want to come and hang out with us, we're going to be at aaronlive.com.au. You guys can hear us well? Can you still hear us?
You're getting levels.
Can you hear us? You guys can hear us? We can hear you commenting on Facebook? No sound?
It's all right. We'll get it back.
We'll be back. You guys can hear us?
I think we're good.
We're back? Are we back? You guys tell us if we're back. Are we back? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we're good.
We're good. Welcome back. Good. So I was saying, come and hang out, guys, if you want to register. I'm going to be touring the country in May, I believe. So register your interest in aaronlive.com.au. Last time we did this tour, it was sold out within a couple of weeks. So if you go on the list, you get called first, you get registered first to come and hang out with me. We're probably going to be hanging out for an evening, few hours, to be giving you guys the latest stuff as well. So I'm excited by that. So welcome to the Mentor Minute. Right, so the Mentor Minute is all about where I share with you something that's happening recently, something I want to share with you, something's on my mind. Like if you know anything about me, all I want to do is help you to live by design and not live by default. Now, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're a sales professional, you're a business owner, what that means is give you strategies and systems that will work for you, right? So every time we get together for Aaron Live, I'm going to spend a minute or two just giving you something that's on my mind that I really want to be able to hone in that you can use within your own business, your own personal life. So this month I thought about it, and recently when I was on tour, I spoke a little bit about this, and I thought, you know, I need to go deeper on this because people come to me and they say, Aaron, I want to be wealthy. I want to start my own company. I want to be able to go out there and travel the world like you do. I want to do things, differently. And one of the things that I always try and do when people come to me and say, here's where I want to go, is I try and help them to work out where they are, right? Like if you ever have your phone and you put in the address you want to go to, right? Then the next thing it asks you for, once you put in the address of where you want to go, is where you are, right? It either picks up the GPS to know where you pinpointed are, or it says what's your current address if it doesn't have it. So if you want to go somewhere, we've got to first understand where you are right now. So I thought this time, let's talk about where are you at, but where are you at really? So what I mean by that is that there's 3 stages to be an entrepreneur, right? So this is going to hurt for some of the people watching this because you're going to sit there and tell me, Aaron, I'm a business owner, right? I run my own company. But in reality, If you're a business owner, you work for yourself, you have a group of people that work with you, there's only 3 stages that you could possibly be in when it comes to building your own empire and building your own company, right? Now, the first stage is what I call the job stage. Right now, you're in the job stage. Now, this is even if you own your own company. You're in the job stage. If you don't work, you don't make money. If you're in a position where you say, Aaron, if I don't go out there and sell my product or service, we don't make any money. Or if somebody else sells it, but you have to go sell it and deliver it, you've got to do all the marketing. Like if you don't work, you don't get paid, right? Like if you don't do a push-up, you don't get paid. You know, if you go on a holiday for 3 weeks, you don't get paid. Then I don't care whether you own a company. I don't care whether you're a P2A Ltd. I don't care what stage you might be in or how much money you have. If you stop working for a week or a month and everything stops because you are the job, then you have a job. You're employed by yourself, but you have a job. That's reality. So you might be sitting there right now watching this Aaron Live going, okay, I have my own business. I want to be able to grow. If you want to grow, the first thing you need to do is you need to be honest with yourself and work out where you are. Because I'm going to help you where you want to go. You've got to work out where you are first, right? So stage 1 is what I call the job stage. You are in the job stage, regardless of how much money you make. If you don't work, you don't make money. Simple as that, right? So you might be in the job stage, right? Or you might be in my stage 2, which I call the business stage, right? So the business stage is critical because I'm part of the making money process, right? So let me give you a definition of that. Maybe you've got a sales team member and they make the sale and then you go and deliver the product or the service, or you create the product or you deliver on the service. Or maybe you're the person doing the sales, but then somebody else is going doing the delivery. You're a part of the process, which means that you have to be there, but if you're not there for 2 hours in the morning or you're not there for a day or two, the whole thing doesn't fall apart, but you're still active. You've got to manage the thing, you've got to give it direction, you've got to be able to deliver on part. So look at it like this way, right? In the business stage, you're one of the pieces of the puzzle and somebody or other people or the other pieces of the puzzle. When they all come together, the thing works. Or if they all come together as the watch, it tells the time, right? So you're in stage 2, which I call the business stage. If you are a part of the money-making process, you're a part of the business process. So some of you here watching Aaron Live might be in stage 2 where you are a part, but it's not solely relying on you delivering that. Does that make sense? So the next stage, right, and this is my favorite stage, obviously, is the empire stage. Now, you're in the empire stage if you are not needed in the business at all. Okay, now this is the check test I always say. If I call you up and I say, hey, there's a jet on the runway, we're going to go hang out in Fiji for a month, want to come? And you say, yes, I'll be there in an hour. Okay, then you're at the empire stage, right? But if you can't leave your business more than a day, if you can't leave your business more than a week, if you're a part of delivery of that, you're not in the stage 3, which I call the empire stage. Now, some of you don't like hearing that you've worked your whole life to then go start your own business, and now after 5 or 10 years or 20 years or 1 year of your own business, you're in stage 1. You're in job stage. But the reality is when you start your own company, the first thing you're trying to do is make enough money to be able to pay yourself a salary, to be able to run your household and be able to pay your basic bills, right? So that's what we call stage 1. Stage 2 is where you're a part of it. And stage 3 is where you are not part of the business. You can be the strategist. You can be the person that's coming up with the ideas, but you don't need to be in the office. You can go start up another company, wherever it may be. Does that make sense? So here's the first thing I want you to do. I want you to be completely honest. And in the comments right now, I'm going to look at these comments. I want you to tell me stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. Where are you honestly at right now? Are you at stage 1, where you are the process? We're at stage 2, where you're a part of the process, but you're still important. You've got to be there. You can't be away for a week or 2 weeks. You're still part of that process. Or you stage 3, where you are not needed at all. Not sometimes, you actually are not needed at all to run your company. If you're in stage 3, 2, but let me know which stage you're at. Now you've told me in the comments, right? I want everyone to do this. Now you know where you're at. The big decision we need to make is, where do you want to be? Okay, that's going to be the decision, right? So the first thing you need to do for me now is decide, where do you want to be? So you've already written in the comments and you've said, I'm a 1, I'm a 2, I'm a 3, or whatever it may be. Here's what I want you to do now. I want you to make a decision on where do you want to be. Now, I gotta tell you this, not everybody wants to be an empire owner, right? I've got some people I work with that are ones that want to become twos. They want to be part of the business, they want to have one business, and they want to have it forever. They don't want to be anything but a part of that business. But I've got other people that work with us that want to be empire owners. They want to be able to take a month off with the family. They want to be able to spend some time with their partner if their partner's just had a baby, or if they've just had a baby themselves. They want to be able to take 6 months off at home, or take 10 years off at home. Or other people that just want to be able to move out of their businesses and be able to run it from a distance. They want to be a three. Or others that love that they are the business. That's it. They're the business. There's no anyone else to have to rely on, anyone else to have to be employed. But if they stop working, they stop making money. So I want you to decide what you want to be. Make the decision and say, this is what I'm going to be. So in the comments now, I want you to write, if you're a 1 and you want to be a 3, I want you to write 1 going to 3, or 1 going to 2, or 2 going to 3, whatever it may be, right? Or if you're a 3, you want to be able to maintain that. And the reason why I want you to do that in the comments is that you're going to be doing the second thing here, which is commit. So a lot of people say to me, Aaron, I want something, right? I'm going to decide this is what I want to do. But the problem that we have is that people often decide what they want to do, but they don't commit to it. They say to me, Aaron, I want to start a business. I've decided I'm going to do it. And I used to think that that means that they're going to register their business that day and go start doing it. But I learned from traveling the globe that I met people that said, Aaron, I'm going to start my own company. Then I'd come back after a year and that person would say, okay, I'm still deciding I'm going to start my company, but they're not committed to doing it, right? So I need you to be able to make a decision to commit. Now, why do you need to commit? Because if you decide you want something, right, it's going to be tough at times. Think about it. If you're in a relationship, you might say, hey, relationship's a perfect thing. Sometimes you say, look, I want to be married to this person. I want to be with this person. Sometimes it's tough, but you've made a commitment, so you're going to find a way to make it work. This is the same thing when it comes to your business. You're going to make a commitment. You're going to say, this is where I want to do. I want to go from here to here, and I'm committed, which means whatever happens, I am going to be committed to becoming a 2 or committed to becoming a 3. That's what my commitment is going to be. And then once you decide and you commit, the next thing is take an action. So MAIA, massive and immediate action, right? What that means is I have to take action on the 2, 3, 4, 5 things I need to do to go from a 1 to a 2, to go from a 2 to a 3. So the question is, what do you need to take action on, right? And I call this the gap. See, if you know where you are, you know where you want to go, the only difference is what's the in-between part is what we call the gap. The gap is what's missing. Is it sales? Do you not have enough sales and revenue coming in? Is it marketing? You don't have enough leads coming in. Is it the team? You're so full on busy, you don't have other people to be able to rely on. What is the gap? Is it funding? You need to raise capital. Do you need to be able to get the bank to give you a line of credit? What do you need to do? What is the gap that you need to shoot to go from a 1 to a 2? Or the gap you need to shoot to go from a 2 to a 3? What's that gap? Now, the reason I say that is because if you go back a step, if we decide what we want, we commit to what that is, we take action, not on everything, on the thing that we need to go from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3, and we stick at that thing even when it's hard. Even when it's hard, we make a commitment to stick to that thing because that's the gap. That's the difference for us. Does that make sense to you guys? So for you, we're gonna have some time at the end of today, right? At the end of today, at the end of Aaron Live, to do what we call Aaron's advice. So if you want to ask me anything, by the way, I don't get a chance to do this at all really live. You got a question? If you put it in the comments now, at the end of the show, I'm going to get a chance to be able to answer that question, whatever it may be. Just put the hashtag Aaron's advice in that comment, and I get a chance at the end of the show today to be able to answer that. So I hope you enjoyed that segment. That's what we call the Mentor Minute. Love it.
Today's about getting the things that you're missing in your business and in your life to change what you want.
feeling really pumped actually. I can't wait to get back to home and start, implementing some of the things I've learned today.
That was fun. Michelle Bridges making people do lunges. Squats or lunges?
Squats.
Squats. I tried to do it, but I didn't want to rip my suit. That was fun. Ginny Ellis, founder of Boost Juice, she joined us. And obviously Michelle Bridges, who's prolific in her space and created an amazing brand too. Paul Holland, Facebook guru. Dr. Lanika Cruz, a doctor of metaphysics, she joined us as well, talking about the science of the brain. And obviously yours truly was there as well, sharing. So that was a really fun day. You guys were at ESUM, let us know in the comments. Let us know you were there as well. So we had a lot of fun. If you want to come join us, our next event is going to be at aaronlive.com.au to pre-register for that. I'll be touring the country, I think, in May. And we're doing, how many cities are we doing? Do you remember, Connor?
I think at least 4.
4 cities? Yeah, we're doing Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and little old Perth over there. Now, don't tell me that I'm not going to Adelaide again. Everyone always tells me off because I don't go to Adelaide. I will go to Adelaide, I promise. At some stage, I will go to Adelaide, right? I promise. On one of our tours as well. So, guys, welcome back. I'm glad you guys are going to be hanging out with us soon. And now we get to go to our segment now that we call What the Fuck? Jackie Chan says, can you show me that again? I know every time I ask you to do this twice. Every time.
Damn.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite one.
Okay. It's your
That's
show.
my.
You
That's
play
it's
the
my
intro
show.
as
I
much
can
as you
play
want.
it twice if I want, right? So I love that one. So what the fuck? Okay. So here is when I try and keep my eyes peeled for something in the news, or me walking by somewhere, or which is what this one is, or something that kind of pops out at me, right? So this one, okay, this one. Let me show you this first, and then I'll explain to you why I'm like, WTF. This one is literally from 2 days ago, okay? This sign says, no, we don't want anything. No hawkers, no salespeople, no promotional people, no door-to-door people of any type. This means you. Now, why does that get my WTF? Because few reasons. One, that is a big fuck off sign on the front of the door to a business for an accounting firm. So that's the first thing they see when they walk in, is a sign that's been put up clearly by a stroppy receptionist with no personality. So they put a sign on the door because they see people knocking on the door saying, oh, can I, whatever, sell you something, offer you something, whatever. But their business is a business helping other businesses to become successful. So if a business wants to go and see their accounting firm to get business, to work with them, to help them grow their business, and the first thing that accounting firm says is that we don't want anybody to offer us anything, is the first impression when you walk in, and you can't miss it. It's the massive sign next to the handle, right? First impression, sign on the door for an accountant. What message does that send to people walking into your business? I don't care if you have a business where some stroppy, shitty receptionist doesn't like that somebody comes and knocks on the door once a day and says, hey, can I talk to you about what we do? Tell that person to get over it, because first impressions versus stroppy receptionist's agenda. What's the most important? How about you as business people decide what's the most important? I know what I'm choosing. I'm not choosing to put a sign on the door that says, we don't want you to come in at all, but we'll take your business. So if you want to come in and bring us business, yeah, no problem. Bring us business. Bring us business. You're a business and we want to take your accounting business. Bring it to us. No problems. But if you walk in and say anything else, we're going to kick you out of our business. What is wrong with people? They think that that's going to solve the problem. What impression does that give you? I took a photo of it, walking past it, not even going into it, let alone walking into it the first time. That, Connor, gets my WTF. What the fuck? Don't you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you agree?
Yeah, very deserving.
And I know what happened. One of the receptionists went, I'm so annoyed. Every time someone knocks on the door and they disturb me. And then the business owner went, okay, if you want to make a sign, laminate it, because we know that you're serious if you laminate your sign, and put it on the front, just to basically says, go fuck yourself. But if you want business, come in. How does that work, right? You want to give us your business, but don't come in if there's anything else. I'm choosing first impressions to be done. So that gets my WTF. But on the other side of things, let's talk about my love it. Now, what do I love? This is what I love. Now, this one's great, right? This one's great. Hangover helpers. So, if you've ever had a party, right? Or, like my wife that tries to avoid parties because she knows that there's going to be ultimately a cleanup component to doing it. You know that when you wake up that next day, you've had a great day, but when you wake up that next day and you go, I am not fit to be a human being today, yet you know you have to clean your house and you have to feed yourself. Well, I found that I love this. There's a business called Hangover Helpers, and it started in Perth in 2015, and now it's in Melbourne. It's right around the place. James Hookway, one of the founders, he and his wife Hayley came up with the idea. And what they do is this: they come into your house, they clean up, they bring you breakfast, either a greasy one or a green, nice one. And they do whatever you want, and they take care of all the cleaning for you. They bring you breakfast, and they look after you after This is a great idea. Hangover helpers. Just imagine you could demand the price point that you want for somebody who's that hungover to please clean my house. So these guys have said they've had about 100 clients, 150 clients so far, or per year they do it. They're making about $50,000, and although that's not huge money, as a little side business. That's mostly the weekends, because let's face it, if you're doing your hangover helpers Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then the person that you're cleaning has a problem. Then Friday night or Saturday, for a little business on the side, they're making almost the average salary of somebody in Australia. Nice little business. So they get my love it. I love it, guys. Well done. Hangover helpers. If you need them, check them out. Or
I was going to say, you've basically given them an idea there. They should pay you for the clients who do have hangovers Monday through to Friday.
Yeah.
Open up an Alcoholics Anonymous
exactly.
wing of your business.
Exactly. I was going to say, you do that, right? Or you just stop drinking. There's one of the two. Love it. That gets my love it. And now we get to move on to one of my other favorite sections. This is one of my favorites, right? This is what we call Aaron's Top 10. My top 10. Now, by the way, send me your feedback, studio at aaronsansoni.com. Studio at aaronsansoni.com. That will go to my creative team. If you've got an idea on a love it, if you've got an idea on what the fuck, if you've got an idea on the top 10, if you've got a business news, something you see in the business news, say, Aaron, you should speak about this. We want to co-create this with you, want to help you, we want to share with you as much as we can. So if you've got a great idea, share it with us as well, including if you have a top 10, right? We've got lots of top 10. Now I'm excited about this top 10, right? My top 10 list of this time is of bizarre businesses. Bizarre businesses, right? So who's ready for my top 10 list of bizarre businesses? Can you guess one of these bizarre businesses? Because I know I certainly couldn't. Let's start with the first one. Number 10 on Aaron's top 10. Posthumous memory deliverer. You can get a memory box, a virtual memory box service, recording your memories of people before they pass away, audio, video, sent to you post-life, delivered to you as if it's from them several months later or even up to 50 years later. You can send somebody like a 21st video for a child that you don't have. Or you could send somebody, I'm still watching you, 6 months. Like you could pass away and leave your partner and send your partner a video 3 years later to say, I know you remarried and I'm haunting you. You could take the guess that's what's going to happen, right? Posthumous memory deliverer. I wonder who came up with that. It says, I'm going to do a business where I'm going to haunt people 50 years on. Listen, I don't want anyone in my life to pass away. but I certainly don't want a box turning up on my doorstep when I finally recovered from that shit 5 years later to say, I'm still listening. So yeah, I don't want, that's creepy. That's
yeah,
creepy
it really sounds like the plot of
creepy
the
as
guy
all hell.
who made Seven and
Yes,
the game. It sounds like something that he'd make.
Yes.
Something horrifying.
That's number 10. So can you imagine the rest? Bizarre businesses. Number 9. This is actually a pretty good idea.
What, the bizarre thing?
Mobile, no, not the bizarre one. Mobile wedding chapel. Unique mobile company. These guys are in Las Vegas. Of course they fucking are. Full wedding ceremony out the back of the van for $129. Beautiful.
Do you think anyone's like actually happy?
I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? We've got one of my amazing support team, Francisca's in the room, and she's watching. And Francisca, would you be happy with a $129 back of the van wedding?
I have to think about it.
She said you have to think about it. So think about that response when you go to think about booking that, you tight ass. Number 9. Number 8. Sympathy Food Delivery Service. Founded by a former funeral director, Virginia, Sympathy Food delivers family-style meals to grievers all over the US in place of flower cards. This is the Sympathy Food Delivery Service. You guys can still hear us?
Broadcast might have been interrupted.
See, Facebook shut us down already for bagging out the algorithm.
Shut us down.
You guys can hear us all right?
Let us know in the comments if you can still hear us. I'm trying to monitor it.
You guys can hear us
According to
okay?
our thing, it says we're still live, but I can't monitor it on my phone.
You guys can hear us? Listen on the
screen
comments.
has frozen. You know what? We might have to end and then hit start again. The screen has frozen.
Okay.
I think Zuckerberg caught wind of your
He did.
earlier segment there. Oh, wait, are we back?
We're back?
Maybe. Looks like it might be catching up. We're back now. We're back. All right, beautiful.
We're back?
So, to reiterate,
Sympathy Food.
Sympathy Food.
So Sympathy Food, welcome back. Sympathy Food. So Sympathy Food delivery service by former funeral director, Virginia. Sympathy Food, it delivers family-style meals to grievers all over the USA in place of flowers. What a bizarre business, but I actually think that's not a terrible idea.
That seems kind of
Sympathy Food. What do you think about that? I'm going to send you... The question will be, what are they sending you, though? Like, if you're grieving and they're sending you, like, salads and stuff. I don't think I want a salad if I'm grieving.
No, I'd want something.
I think that's the
more
time that I want something that's not good for me. Do you know what I mean? Sympathy. Number 7. Fantasy dating service. This is interesting. Much like fantasy sport leagues, the fantasy dating game allows single women to earn points. Why not single men? To earn points by flirting with guys at Starbucks, slipping their numbers to cute bartenders, and going on actual dates. The founder, Susan, said that her site empowers women to take charge of their own love life, gaining confidence through dating. Is this a real dating service, though?
I looked it up. I'm pretty sure it's still active. Yes, like that screenshot that is taken like a week ago.
Do I actually date somebody?
I'm not. I mean, I don't know. The concept is.
So I don't want to date someone, but it's going to be a fantasy date.
Look, I'm excited by the prospect of earning points in just about anything. So.
The idea of the whole point scheme, I love that, but I'm not sure if you're going to get the outcome you want physically or romantically if you date someone that doesn't exist. But it's a good idea for it. I love it. I don't love it. I'll never invest in that business. Never do it. Number 6, the Soap Bakery, a line of bakery-inspired bath products. This is interesting. Mrs. Brown Bath Bakery created an entire line of soaps, scrubbers, and toothpaste, hairsprays, and other products looking like real baked food. Luckily, these people, guys, what they did, it's 100% organic, food-grade ingredients. I have no fucking idea why she did this. Nor do I know why I would want it. I would eat it. Wouldn't you eat it?
Well, I think she made it out of ingredients that you could eat. So,
but
like,
it's soap.
I know, but you can eat it. Like, have you ever been to Lush? Have you ever been to a shop like that?
No. Do I look like someone that goes to Lush?
Look, Lush does not discriminate. You could be, but it all smells so good and it looks so good.
So let me be clear. I can wash myself with this.
You can, yes.
Eat it.
Yes.
In the shower.
Yes.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
There
Sign me
you
up.
go.
I'm in. However, if it's not the case, I'm not in. Number 5. This is fucking gross. Number 5, wearable human remains. Purple Cloud Studio, an art glass studio, creates custom keepsakes using ashes of beloved family members and pets. Michelle, the founder, the artist behind the unique business, asks her clients to ship a teaspoon of their remains so she can put them in glass or as a paperweight. I'm not sure if I want the human remains of my relatives as paperweights in my office.
No, it seems
Or wearing them
distasteful.
on me. I think
like
that's
that she
weird.
only asks for a teaspoon of your.
Is that
of
even
your loved
legal?
one's
Can you
remains.
send the remains of somebody and then get it made into something else?
I'd love to see a filing system for like.
That's so
these
gross.
remains.
Imagine the deliveries.
Yeah.
Gross. What does it send? I see send a whole hand. See what she does with it. Number 4, a furniture business for slobs. It's called Slob Proof. Maryland-based business. These guys design furniture, custom-built sofas, chairs, and ottomans, specifically designed and engineered to make sure that if you have a spill or a stain, this thing comes straight off it. Not a bad idea.
No, not really.
But it's a bizarre business. She said she had babies and pets and everything. Well, first of all, just don't put your pets on the couch. But toddlers and babies are slobbery. I agree with that. My concern is what these things are going to look like, right? Now, way before this bizarre business was done, there was a brilliant invention, and it was called Leave Plastic on Your Furniture. Now, I won't say a certain type of demographic that used to do that, but I know that I had certain friends that I'd go to their house and they would have plastic on their couches, just like certain people that would put ugly covers on the chairs of their car so that when they go to sell their car, their seats still look good. For me, I'm like, why won't you enjoy it while you've got it? Why would you do that, right? Why would you do that? Plastic covers on your seats. Don't like it. Number 3, bizarre businesses. Retro arcade manufacturer. These are Dream Arcade machines, multiple arcade machines, right? These guys made retro gaming enthusiasts back in the glory days. Pac-Man, I know you played Pac-Man. Asteroid. I never played Dragon's Lair. Did you play Dragon's Lair?
Yes.
Did you play that? Of course you did. The company, which is the world's largest manufacturer of these non-coin operated arcade machines, these guys are pretty bizarre. These guys have delivered an arcade machine to Antarctica. We should do an event in Antarctica. Let's do Aaron Live, Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, Perth,
Antarctica.
and the South Pole. South
Brief
Pole.
stopover.
Weird businesses. Bizarre. Number 2. This is bizarre. Sarah made a cheese sculpting business. A cheese sculpting business. She's called the Cheese Lady. It's pretty interesting. I'm born, I have parents, I get educated, then I decide to become called the Cheese Lady. Okay. She creates cheddar cheese carvings for grocery stores in the events and their festivals. I want to know where she came up with the idea. Because my mum used to say, don't play with your food. Like, you don't get in love with that idea unless you're actually like playing with your food,
No,
right?
she heard that advice and took it as more of a suggestion.
Get out. She hosts seminars to teach people how to do it. I'm going to teach people how to do this. It's an art of traditional cheese making and then carving. Interesting.
Oh my god! Do a crossover event, Cheese Mastery.
Cheese Mastery, trademark it. Last one, my number 1 bizarre business for my top 10 list. This one is a whole business devoted to bacon. So for my bacon lovers out there is bacon underwear. There is bacon. What's that? Baconaise.
Yep.
There
so
is
there's,
bacon,
salt and bacon rub.
Salt and there's a bacon rub. J&D Foods made a huge variety of edible products, mayonnaise, popcorn, all this stuff, and this is all made to taste like bacon.
I feel like it bears mentioning. They also have bacon, candied bacon seasonings, bacon scented underwear, bacon scented pillowcases, and bacon lip balm.
Can we focus on bacon underwear?
Yes.
Because I don't know what part of I don't know who says I'm gonna love my husband or wife more, because I'm not discriminating, if they smell like bacon.
I don't know anybody who likes bacon that much.
I could be proved wrong. If you're from J&D Foods and you guys make $1 trillion a year from fucking bacon underwear, can you prove me wrong and send me an email and tell me, shove it, look how much money we make selling bacon underwear? But who does that? When I say innovate your business, Don't innovate it like that. It doesn't make sense. That's my top 10. Top 10. Top 10, top 10, top 10. Now it's time for my advice. And my advice is don't start a bacon underwear business. Welcome to Aaron's advice. So thanks for joining us so far. And as we come towards the end of our show, and are we going to select a winner for this sharing thing?
And
the prize?
Sam has been out there figuring out the...
She's working out someone. We're going to choose someone. We're going to select them. And we're going to write in the comments who they are and what their prize is going to be. What do you reckon we give them? I want to give them a signed copy of my book and a couple $100 cash. What do you reckon? Let's do that. There you go. Cash. $200 cash. Signed copy of my book. And bacon underwear. It's all coming your way. I'm not sending you bacon underwear because I'm not giving them my credit card. Love it. So this is Aaron's advice. So if you've got a question or a comment, you've got a chance now to throw it into the comments now. Use the hashtag Aaron's advice, and we're going to be doing those live. So throw me some questions.
All right. Leonie is in the comments, says, hashtag Aaron's advice. Are property videos the way to go for real estate?
Yes.
Yes?
Yep.
That's the long and short of it.
That's it. I watch them, right? But can I say something? If you're going to make them, don't sound like an idiot. Like, remember that you're a human being. When people put the camera on for some reason, like, Aaron Live, I'm being me. We've got a couple of things happen. We go live. I'm being me, trying to help you. If you're going to do a property video, if you walk in and you go, I love that front door. Then do the video, go like, guys, welcome to this place. The front door's made this, you guys are going to come and the feel of this place is amazing. As opposed to, hi, welcome to number 6, blah, blah, blah street. It's got 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and hope you come to our inspection. So if you're going to do a property video, what I would say is bring yourself to it, bring some energy to it, be authentic, make it your own. But yes, that's what you need to do if you want to stand out. You need to make property videos. Yep.
All right, next up, Angela says, hashtag Aaron's advice. In your experience, what is the best method when prospecting to a client, e.g. email or phone?
Phone, 1000%. Absolutely. But why? Because if I get an email from you, I can ignore it. If I ask you for something, you can't necessarily hang up on me unless you're a complete asshole. But you've got an opportunity to be able to use skills that you might learn or you would learn from one of my trainings like Sales Mastery or what I teach at Empire Mastery. But you've got to learn the skills on being able to negotiate with somebody. If they say, no, let me think about it, I want to speak to my husband, whatever. You've got to learn the skills to be able to negotiate and to be able to do that. So if you're prospecting, I'm a big believer in any form of face-to-face, whether it's any form of direct communication. So if it's face-to-face, over the phone, because they can't run away. They can't run away from you. They can't get away. If if they want to get away from you, they've got to talk their way out of it, which means you get a chance to do it. So email, I think a lot of people use emails, but I don't think it serves you. I don't think it's going to help you, by just sending out 1,000 emails. So for me, my advice between those two mediums, an email and a phone calls hands down. Absolutely phone calls hands down, or any way you can get in front of them. Go and knock on a door. Go knock on a door. Go knock on the accounting door, and just to really piss off that receptionist. That's what you need to do, even if they've got a sign. Especially if they've got a sign.
Target the sign owners.
Target the sign owners.
Leonie asks also, Aaron's advice, do letterbox flyers still work for real estate?
Yeah, a lot of agents hanging out with us today. Yeah, absolutely they do, but they're not there to get your instant listings. They're there for branding. So there's two things that you get, right? There's marketing and there's branding. Marketing is saying, please do something. Buy this, get this discount, give me your email address. This is what it is. Branding is just letting you know that you're amazing, right? So if you drive down the freeway and you see a big billboard and it's got this big Apple symbol in the middle of it, nothing else, that's just Apple reminding you they're a $1 trillion company almost, and they want you to be aware of that. They want you to be aware that they're a $1 trillion company, and that's what they're trying to do. That's branding. Marketing is when you're saying, here is what I want from you. So a flyer, like you might use in real estate, like a just listed or just sold or something like that, you're trying to let people know that you have results, that you're in their life, that you're there, as opposed to saying, would you like appraisal? Would you like appraisal? It's done. It's done to death. So flyers still work, but not as necessarily a marketing tool, but as a branding tool. I've answered your question. Excellent. Next one.
Awesome.
You can also email it in, by the way. You can email in the studio. We've got a whole bunch of them coming from the studio.
At
aaronsansoni.com, guys.
We haven't got any more in the comments. Oh, wait. Scott Davis
Last one.
has come in with a final question. What are your thoughts on small businesses discounting?
So I'm not against... Great question, by the way. Scott, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Scott Davis.
I am not against discounting. I'm against discounting when you don't have a price objection yet. So if you say, well, this paper's $4 for the Fin Review, right? So I'm going to sell you some papers. These are $4. They can get delivered to your house every day. However, if you go ahead with it today, I can give it to you for $2.50. So in your one breath, you've gone from, here's the paper, the product, it's $4, the retail price. I'm going to give you today for $2.50. So a consumer and your brain of anybody says, well, number one, you're devaluing it straight away. And there's some exceptional circumstances for this, but most of the time, you're devaluing it straight away, number one. Number two, you've already given them a discount. So most people say, well, can I get more of a discount? As opposed to standing your ground, saying, here's how much it is. Then if you get a price objection, following, like I teach this thing called the objection funneling formula, which I teach at my boot camps, Empire Mastery or Sales Mastery. And I teach them how to be able to find the core objection. Now, if the core objection is price, the first thing that I do, Scott, is I would encourage you to add value. Actually, the first thing I do is encourage you to reinforce the value you've already given and then reclose. The second thing I'd ask you to do is add more value. Because if you can add value, that's a less cost price than a discount. Because remember, if you're charging $4 for a paper, it costs $1 to make it. You discount the paper by $1, it becomes $3. It still costs you $1 to make it, which means that $3 you were making in profit, you are now making a $2 margin in profit. So you've just reduced your profit margin by 33% by giving a 25% discount. This is the reason why you've got to be very careful with discounts. Number one, you reinforce the value. Number two, you add more value. Number three, if you need to discount the price, you use a close. I teach 21 different types of closes. One of them would be conditional close or something like that. So if you're going to reduce the price, you know they're going to go ahead with a product or service. That might be a way to do it as well. Hope that answers your question, but don't get into the trap of just discounting. Remember, people don't mind paying for things, but business is nothing more than an exchange of value. You know, you don't mind spending $20 to go to the cinema or $50 to go to gold class or spending, a couple of dollars on something if you know you're going to get the value in exchange. If you wake up in the morning, you go to the office and you need caffeine, not nicotine. You need caffeine. You'll spend $4 on a coffee. You'll spend $5. If you're in Melbourne, you'll spend $5 plus $5.50 for the almond and then this and whatever. You'll spend the money because you want the value, right? So if a coffee's $8, you're going to go, hang on a second, that's $8. I'm not used to spending that. The value might not be there. So people don't mind spending money because business is nothing but the exchange of value. So focus on the value. And if you're going to discount, make sure you're discounting after you follow the process I'm giving you. But if you've got a great product, you've got great value, then you shouldn't run into that problem if you follow the process properly. But it's a great question. That's a great question, Scott. Good question to finish on for Aaron Live here today with us. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. We got there in the end. Make sure you guys are sharing this thing as well. Did we get a winner?
Well, we've got some shares. Do we want to pick the winner live on air? Or?
Go.
All right.
You choose a random name that doesn't start with Connor and end in O'Keen.
Shit. All right. You know what? I'm going to drop a battery on this thing and whatever it lands
We're dropping a battery on a name.
Dropping a battery on the name. Go. All right. I think...
Who'd you land on?
That landed on Leone.
Leone.
It was our realtor
do we have a surname?
Providing us with questions.
Do we have a surname for Leone?
Leone Snook Wellsby, is that her name?
That sounds
Wellsby,
like
yes.
a totally fake name.
No, that's a real person. She supplied us with questions. Thanks,
Leone Snook Wellsby. You totally fucking made that lame name up.
Yes.
I promise you there is a Leone Snooky Wellsby or something
Snook
that is alive and kicking on Facebook, right? That person, you're going to get a Facebook message from one of my team.
Right now.
We're going to give you a couple $100 cash. We're going to send you a little envelope, some hush-hush money in there. And I'm also going to send you a copy of my book, Think Like, which is at buythinklike.com. I'm going to send you a copy of this. I'm going to sign it for you. I want to write your fake name in it. And I'm going to send it to you express as well today. So well done for sharing it. Thanks for interacting with us, guys. This is Aaron Live. My goal is to bring you as much as I can over this show that we have for an hour or so every single month. Share this thing because we're going to post it up and keep it here. Share this over today. Share it with your friends. Make sure we get people watching this. And the more momentum we get for Aaron Live, the more we're gonna keep doing this for you guys as well. So from myself, from the team, thank you for hanging out with us for Aaron Live. And remember, make sure you guys are living by design and not by default. I'll see you at the next Aaron Live. Ciao for now.